Hey guys, I know I might be getting to this story a little late, but I still wanted to cover it because God, it is so funny. It is so rich coming from the same people that have no issue when they race swap somebody who's a white-skinned, red-headed character, or any other ethnicity really, as long as it's not one of the protected class, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. So they decided to make, or at least announce that they're going to make a Lilo and Stitch live-action movie, and I don't know who in God's name thinks this is a good idea. This is going to be some absolute nightmare fuel when you see Lilo, or no, sorry, not Lilo, when you see Stitch in live-action. Like, you all remember what Sonic looked like before they fixed him for the movie, right? That's probably what Stitch is going to look like with an extra set of arms. This is going to be god-awful looking. So, now we have this outrage because the girl that they cast to play Nani, the older sister, is too white, apparently. So Disney fans who supported the Little Mermaid race swapping attacked newly cast Lilo and Stitch live-action remake actress Sydney Agudong for not being dark enough to play Nani, and I'm not kidding. Hypocrisy, thy name is identity politics, and this is from Bounding into Comics. After spending the past few months accusing anyone critical of Ariel's race swapping in the live-action The Little Mermaid of being a hateful bigot, Disney's more identity politics-obsessed fans have now hypocritically taken to outright attacking newly cast actress Sydney Elizabeth Agudong for not being adequately dark enough to portray Nani in the studio's upcoming live-action take on Lilo and Stitch. Agudong's casting as the older of the film's two sisters was first announced on April 13th, courtesy of an exclusive published by The Hollywood Reporter. An up-and-coming young actress of Filipino descent, whose most notable credits currently include guest spots in the television series NCIS and On My Block, Lilo and Stitch will mark Agudong's first major cinematic appearance. Well, I feel sorry for her because it's not the one you want to have. I'm sorry. Nobody's going to see this movie. This is not the most loved Disney movie of all time, and it's not because of the ethnicity of the characters. Personally, I think they did the characters, especially having your first Polynesian, Hawaiian characters in a movie, a massive disservice by the animation style. And I've had this argument with people online who are like, oh, they're not ugly, it's just how they're animated. I'm like, okay, well, they chose to animate them in a very visually unappealing way. The characters all look almost inhuman, in my opinion, the way that they animated Lilo and Stitch, but that's a whole separate topic. But I feel like they did do the characters a slight disservice anyways. So people are actually on here saying, why isn't she native Hawaiian? Question Twitter user, I can't even pronounce that. Why is she so white? Sorry, why is she so white? Nani is native. That is a major part of their story. I'm sure the actress is great, but this is why we need this to stop. This could have gone to a native actress for a native story. Actors start turning down these roles maybe, and completely skipping over the fact that this girl is born and raised in Hawaii. They cast so well for Lilo, so that makes this abhorrently colorist casting for Nani even more bizarre, lamented Spider Wars. This casting is such an insult to brown-skinned native Hawaiians and to fans of Nani, beyond disappointing. I'm sorry, how many fans are there of the non-title character in not one of Disney's most popular movies of all time? I'm really confused by this, but okay. Seeing a lot of people who aren't indigenous saying, oh, but she's native, and ignoring the blatant colorism happening here, argued Ko Pilled. Sydney Agudong should not be playing Nani. Whitewashing the Lilo and Stitch casting is not the same as casting Ariel as black, and here it is. Here we go. Positive POC representation subverts racism. Whitewashing canonically brown-black characters does not. Whiteness has never been made a mockery of in media to need that representation at all. That is complete bullshit. Oh man, white people for like the last 8 years are the only people you can make fun of in the media. Straight white men. Look it up. They're the ones especially in certain jobs, who are literally being discriminated against because of their gender and the color of their skin. Dark-skinned women can't have anything. This is so disappointing to cry. So here's the problem. These people are obsessed with melanin. They're obsessed with how dark you are. And there's been a lot of discussion about this, about being black enough, which I despise. I think that that's a horrible way to look at human beings. But it's not from my perspective. It's from certain people who look at things through a very, very racially segregated lens. And so, unfortunately, in situations like this, you're going to have people freaking out the minute that their shit's changed, but then justifying why it's okay when it happened to Ariel. All right? So someone even wished physical harm upon the actress, tweeting, "A white Filipino playing a native Hawaiian Pacific Islander just because she was born and raised in Hawaii is disrespectful, and I hope she chokes." Wow, that's really classy there. Keep it classy, Twitter. And what's more, while those opposed to Halle Bailey's casting as Ariel made sure to direct their criticism at Disney and the corporate direction, those upset by Agudong's casting have taken to directly harassing and insulting the young actress through the comment section of a post made on her public Instagram page, which has, it should be noted, has seemingly not been utilized by Agudong in over a year. "You only got the role just because you live in Hawaii, LMAO. This is ridiculous. You really took the opportunity for representation," oh god, I hate that word, "from all the darker-skinned Hawaiian actresses who could have played Nani and all the darker-skinned little Hawaiian girls who will never get to see that representation. Get your bag, but just know we have your guts for it." Ow, that's kind of aggressive. "With all the colorism that's been happening for centuries in Polynesian communities, Hollywood is absolutely disgusting that you, a pale, half-white, half-Filipina girl, would take the role of a dark-skinned, all caps, Hawaiian woman. You should be ashamed of yourself. You robbed native dark-skinned Hawaiian woman of this opportunity. I and millions of others will not be watching." Good! I'm not going to be watching it either because I think the live-action movies are shit. I'm glad that I have a reason to not watch it, but I think yours is kind of lame. But literally, because of this, they've literally done the meme. You know the meme I'm talking about? Right here. Beautiful. I mean, I also like Ryan Gosling as Black Panther, don't get me wrong. But I mean, why couldn't Ryan Gosling play Barack Obama? Was his blackness the only thing relevant about his presidency? I mean, I was no fan of Barack Obama, but it wasn't because he was black. It was because of his policies. It was because of his ideology. But hey, why not? Let's mix it up, everybody. Come on. Let's have a black Thor in the next Marvel movie. Let's have a Chinese Scarlet Witch. Let's have a white... well, crap. Who's the one in Justice League? Oh, Cyborg. Let's have a white Cyborg. Let's just mix it up. I'm down for it. Come on. And then you literally have these idiots on Twitter. The difference between Ariel being cast black and Nani being cast white in the Lilo and Stitch live action is that Nani's character has a real human ethnicity relevant to the plot, which should be represented by a dark-skinned native of Hawaiian. Meanwhile, mermaids aren't real and can be anything. Yes, they can be anything. But she had a real human ethnicity attached to her because when she had her freaking legs... after she no longer had fins, she was a white girl. Suck it. Deal with it. These people are sick. They are twisted in the head. They think it only applies when their shit gets moved. Well, guess what? This is what happens when you have these people who are completely obsessed with race and ideology, that their little ideas and their perceptions get, their bubbles get bursted and they can't handle it. Let me know what you guys think. I'm very curious about this. Are you going to watch it? I wasn't going to watch it to begin with because I think the live-action Disney stuff is garbage. But let me know what you think down in the comments, and we will see you on the next one.